Knockout punch indeed. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health, reminding you that only you can prevent allopathic reductionism. Today is Thursday, the 16th day of May, in the wonderful year 2013, May 16th, 2013. We have a guest with us. I'm going to get to him in just a second, Mike Randolph. Before we bring Mike Randolph into the fold, though, I wanted to get to Todd first, who's calling in from California with an update on his experience of his muscular dystrophy using science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition and firing his MDs. Welcome back, Todd. How goes the battle?
Hello there. My improvement is amazing. I think today is a great day to talk about muscular dystrophy.
Well, bring it on, brother. Give the radio audience a little understanding of who you are and what you've been doing as far as the timeline goes with longevity.
All right. So this is day 61 on my protocol. And I'll give a quick update in my improvements from these past 61 days. You know, the biggest one is I have not fallen on the ground in the past 61 days. My energy has improved. My walking ability has improved. My crawling ability has improved. And my arm strength has improved.
Now, prior to getting on board with medical nutrition as delivered through the agency of Longevity, how many times in a week would you expect to fall down on the ground because of muscle weakness from your muscular dystrophy?
Well, if you want to know something funny, the day before I started everything, I randomly took a fall. Like, I don't know what happened. I was just walking and I just fell. And ever since getting on that stuff, no falls
whatsoever. And before, I mean, in your life, would you be falling down once a day, 10 times a day, once a week, once a month, or what's the deal?
I say I'd be falling down a couple times every 1 or 2 months.
Yeah. So, you know, in addition to the muscle strength that's improving and your mobility that's improving and you're able to navigate through the world, you know, without fear anymore, because I can imagine before all of these positive things started for you, it must have been kind of a bummer just to even think about going to the mall and walking around because you didn't want to look like a knucklehead. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to take any falls because I couldn't get up on my own.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be rough, man. And how old are you, Todd? What's your current age?
I am 24 years old.
24 years old. Fantastic. Yeah, so you've been dealing with muscular dystrophy, of course, your entire life, so for 24 years, and now you're at day 61. And give the listening audience an understanding of what you're doing with your diet and what you're doing with nutritional supplements. So what are you not eating and what are you taking for supplements?
Well, my everyday diet is basically 10 eggs and a couple potatoes, and then I'll make a smoothie and throw in some tangy tangerine with that, along with Z-Radical.
Fantastic. Now, didn't you just update or upgrade your longevity order?
Yeah, I just upgraded everything, and I'm on the final protocol. Do you want me to list all the things that I'll be taking?
Yeah, run down the list for the listening audience, if you please.
All right, I'm taking Beyond Tangy Tangerine, OsteoFX Plus, EFA Plus, Ultimate Selenium, Glucogel, Z-Radical, and the HGH Youth Complex and Triple Treat Chocolate. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think that's
man, yeah, I don't think you're missing anything either, Todd. That is a fantastic program. And if you've gotten better in 61 days just on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, I got to tell you something, brother. The best is yet to come. Now, please tell everybody the website that you're documenting all these changes on.
I'm documenting them on my YouTube channel, Defying Dystrophy. I have tons of videos on there, and I plan to be updating every 2 weeks now.
Fantastic, Todd. Defying Dystrophy on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Todd, you are an inspiration to everybody. I just can't wait. I mean, I can't wait for the next 6 months to see how far you're going to run with this. Pun
and
intended.
I have another big announcement to make. Do we got time to talk about another thing?
Yeah, I'm sitting down, Todd. Bring it on.
All right. Well, last time I called in, I was talking about I had a son that was going to be born June 13th. Well,
Fantastic.
This past weekend, we had to have emergency C-section, apparently.
Uh-huh. Because your wife became eclamptic?
Yeah, correct. Like, I'll tell it. Early Saturday morning, I woke up to hearing choking noises from her. So I was like, wake up, okay? And then I shined my phone light on her and seen that her face was, like, deathly pale, and she was having a full-blown seizure. Like, I've seen people have seizures before, but this was pretty bad.
Oh, well, all right. So what happened next? I'm on the edge of my seat.
Well, my instincts, I called 911, of course, and they were there within 2 minutes, but, thank God that Lauren's sister was there, because somehow she got out of the bed and she was going to fall on her stomach, and I yelled for her sister. I'm like, don't let her fall on her stomach. We got to protect that baby still.
Okay, good. All right, good. So you got this big emergency in the middle of the night. You dial 911. You save your wife from falling on her stomach. Now the EMT guys get there, and they cart her off to the hospital. And what was the diagnosis?
All right, well, when we got there, the doctor really didn't say anything. It's just like, oh, we need to do a C-section, without explaining everything. And then they started explaining a condition called eclampsia. But, here's where it gets scary. She's been having symptoms that were documented by her OB doctors for the, past 2 or 3 months. They saw these symptoms. They never once mentioned to us anything about pre-eclampsia or why her hands were swollen. They're just like, oh, you need to clean up her diet.
Yeah. So your wife was showing definitive signs and symptoms of preeclampsia. Her attending OBGYN missed it, and she ended up almost dying from eclampsia in the middle of the night because of medical incompetence. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. They should have at least told us about this. Like, I can't believe there was no posters. And if you want to hear something else, I confronted the doctor one time because they had a poster in one of their waiting rooms. It's like, ask your doctor about supplements, herbs, and nutrition. And I asked her, I was like, so how much training have you had on nutrition? And she looked at me kind of weird and was like, not very much. Not very much at all. And she told me straight to my face that if you take supplements, they're not going to do anything for your body.
Yeah. And meanwhile, there's a big poster in the waiting room that says, ask your doctor about nutritional supplements. And then you ask your doctor about nutritional supplements, and she says she has no training in them, but she knows for sure that they don't work, right?
Yeah.
And this is the medical model that we all just genuflect at the altar of every day. Todd, my heart goes out to you. Listen, I'm glad that your wife was able to, and the baby were able to be saved. And remember, this is the domain of the MD. This is their wheelhouse. This is their bailiwick. This is what they do. This is what they're good at when they're not addicted to street drugs, prescription medication, or alcohol when they're in the emergency room, which 51% of them are, according to Harvard University. But you're absolutely right. Had your physician been on their game, they would have seen the signs and symptoms leading up to the eclamptic moment months before it happened and would have been able to head that baby off at the pass. It's a relatively easy thing to manage with medical nutrition. So, they fail you on one front, but then they save you on the other front. As far as I'm concerned, that evens everything out. Glad that your child was born healthy. Is the child healthy, by the way?
Yeah, he's healthy. He's breathing on his own already.
Yeah, fantastic. How much was he when he was born? What was his birth weight?
He was 5.8.
Wow, very good. And how's your wife now?
she's doing great. All her eclampsia symptoms are gone.
Yeah,
I got her taking OsteoFX for the calcium deficiency.
Almost immediately, right? Yeah, the OsteoFX goes a long way towards helping eclampsia. Todd, thank you so much for the phone call again. It's always a pleasure to hear you. And, you know, the hits just keep on a-coming, ladies and gentlemen. Check out his YouTube channel. And this is what we're up against, ladies and gentlemen. Not only are the MDs trained in an old-fashioned, outdated, Machiavellian, mediocre, monopolistic medical therapy and medical philosophy, i.e. allopathic reductionism, but they're also often and frequently just incompetent at what they're supposed to do. They just get it wrong all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've had to suffer through misdiagnoses. People have come to me for treatment and have been patients of conventional medical doctors for years. They've been misdiagnosed. They've been misprescribed. Easy stuff to miss. I don't talk about this a lot on the air because, you know, I don't know why I don't talk about it so much. But look, honest to God, you're taking your life into your hands if you bring your body suffering from a chronic disease to the office of anybody who has an MD after their name, especially if they practice integrative medicine or orthomolecular medicine. Those men and women are the worst. Facts are a stubborn thing, ladies and gentlemen. The leading cause of death in the United States, MD-directed medical treatments. The leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, MD-directed medical treatments. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, my advice, fire your MD. Tune in to fireyourmdnow.com. Go to the website. Click on the longevity button. Join us. Join us at the CEO Mega Pack level, and we're going to bring Mike Randolph in at the top of the very next segment to talk to you about why that's such a very, very smart thing to do and give us updates about what's happening in the wonderful world of network marketing to the rising star, longevity. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath here on the 16th day of May with another live episode of Fire Your MD Now. And, you know, the leading cause of death, MD-directed medicine, also the leading cause of bankruptcy, MD-directed medicine. If you're sick and tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, if you're sick and tired of driving around in an old beater, if you're sick and tired of shrinking your dreams to fit your budget, instead of growing your budget to fit your dreams, well, you've come to this show on exactly the right day. Very pleased to introduce and to have with us a very special guest who's here with us once a week now, the Vice President of Leadership Development with Longevity, Mr. Mike Randolph. Thanks for coming back, Mike. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Doc, and thanks for having me.
Well, hey, it's always a pleasure. You know, we couldn't get it done on Tuesday because you are traveling all around the country now. Weren't you just in Atlanta? Tell me how that went.
Well, you know what? I was in Atlanta until about 4:30 this morning, and I left the hotel. And, you know, I have to admit, I was feeling a little tired. I was feeling a little bit beat up, a little jet lagged, you know, connecting flights and all those things. I was feeling a little sorry for myself. And then you went and brought Todd on the line during that first segment, and you know what? I realized I have been a wimp all day, so I am full of vim and vigor and ready to get going. But you know, we're in the middle of the Healthy Body Challenge Executive Tour, and what that really means is, hey, some of us fat cats in the home office have dusted off our suitcases and gotten back out on the road. We're playing Dr. Wallach a little bit, going from town to town. On a few tours. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina on Tuesday. I was in Atlanta, Georgia last night, back home, and more tour dates are coming up. If you guys want to know about that stuff, just go to ygresourcecenter.com and click on upcoming events, and you'll see not just me, Bill Andreoli's out there, Steve Wallach's out there, Michelle Wallach's out there, Vanessa Hunter's out there. Of course, Doc, you're out there all over the place. Dr. Wallach is all over the place. A lot of our key leaders. We're traveling the country right now because when momentum is on your side, you've got to strike while the iron's hot. And it has never been hotter than it is right now here at Youngevity?
Well, you know, Youngevity now in the top 100 of network marketing companies in the world, weighing in at 96th place. And in the June edition of Success at Home magazine, it's all Youngevity. I mean, it's one entire issue devoted entirely to Youngevity. That's got to be a very, very exciting coup for Youngevity.
You know, it is. It's absolutely amazing. Only 12 companies each year are featured in Success from Home magazine. Of course, we are one of those. Already a resounding success. You know, this magazine is not going to hit the rack until sometime in June. We've got advanced copies. If you guys want to see what's going on here at Youngevity, not just from a product standpoint, not just from a leadership standpoint, not just from an income opportunity and success standpoint, but if you want to see the entire package, get with a Youngevity distributor, get yourself a copy of Success from Home magazine. The title on the front is The Evolution of a Mission. Square, dead centered in that picture is Dr. Joel Wallach, the gentleman who started it all. And, you know, he's starting to, his message is getting out there. And you know what's funny? After coming off this convention in Vegas the week before last with this magazine, and you know, things happen in threes, I guess. We had the convention just about 2 weeks ago. We had the Success from Home magazine, and we also have, to our surprise, we're also featured in the center of the Direct Selling News May edition. That's volume 9, issue number 5, the May edition. The name of the article is A Perfect Balance. Again, talking about how well balanced our company is from a product standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. You know, if you want to go out there and help people, you need to become part of something that is bigger than you are. And right now, let me tell you, Dr. Wallach's message, Dr. Glidden's message, the 90 for Life story, the Healthy Body Challenge, it's bigger than all of us, and it is taking off. You know, I spend all my time, it seems, Doc, teaching people what to do, teaching people how to do it. But I just want to take our listeners back, if they were here for that first segment, and listen to Todd's story. That's why we do it. What an amazing story. We're changing people's lives in such a positive way. You know, I'm as clumsy as the next guy, but I've never legitimately been concerned about going out and losing my footing and falling down.
I mean, I got to tell you, man, this is why we do it, and this is what makes Youngevity unique, because we are here to change the world. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with my very special guest, Mike Randolph. Coming up at the top of the second hour, the commander is back in the house. We're kicking it with the commander at the top of the second hour, taking your health calls at the top of the second hour. For 17 years, Youngevity members have been taking the road less traveled. And it has, in fact, made all the difference. It's made all the difference in my life. It's made all of the difference in every Youngevity customer's life and in every Youngevity business owner's life. But now, the road less traveled is starting to be looked at from everybody in the world. There is a wave that's building. And in the small hours of dawn and in the wee hours of the night, if you put your ear to the ground, you can feel the Youngevity wave building. Now is the time to become a Youngevity associate. Now is the time to sign up for the CEO Mega Pack. Get $500 of supplements that you can sample to help build your Youngevity business. And this is how we're going to change the world. It's not going to be by sitting around at home, sitting on your hands. What would have happened if nobody had told Todd about what we do? What would have happened if nobody had told Ashley James about what we do? What would have happened had nobody told Tom Chenault or Blake Graham or Todd Smith about what we do? Well, I tell you what would happen. There would be tens of thousands of deaths, of more deaths, and tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of sicker, more financially stressed trapped more suffering individuals all around the world, because Youngevity is not a super juice company, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a break. Youngevity is here. It breaks the mold. The compensation plan that they offer is unrivaled in the network marketing industry. No other company even comes close. And the products that we sell are unrivaled in the field of holistic medicine. They're science-based, clinically verified, based on $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies, and 30 years of clinical work by the most lauded naturopathic physician in the world. Now, this is a singularly unique company, and we have been holding fire for 17 years. And now our momentum is starting to build. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.ca if you're up in Canada. Click on the Youngevity button and join Team Glidden. Join our coalition, our merry band of men, women, and children all around the world, bringing the message of health recovery through medical nutrition and wealth recovery through Youngevity to as many people as will listen to it. Mike, being involved with Youngevity for a couple of years now, you know, you have a singular perspective on the company, where they've been, and, you know, the growth that you've seen in the last 2 years. And again, I don't like to obfuscate or, you know, conflate or inflate stuff here on the show. So no kidding, man, just real nuts and bolts, real pragmatic, no nonsense. What is the growth of Youngevity like compared to other network marketing companies that you've seen in your life?
Well, you can't really compare. The amazing thing about Youngevity, being around for 17 years, seeing the kind of growth we're seeing right now, when the company was already doing well, when the company had already reached a nominal level of sales and stabilized and was creating, you know, multi-million-dollar earners and moving enough product to rationalize a 75,000 square foot warehouse, we'd already achieved that. What's happening now is that has become the new platform that we're launching from. And it's the reason why we're getting so much attention, not just in the health and wellness industry, but across the direct sales industry, across the network marketing industry, is because we are defying the entire industry. Right now, most companies here in the U.S., if they're lucky, they're maintaining. If they're lucky, they're maintaining their business. We are growing in the U.S. right now. We are setting ourselves up for additional international expansion, but we're going to do that under very controlled circumstances. Most companies that are growing in startup areas in different places around the world where networking is brand new. Here we are, a 17-year-old company already established that is taking off like a brand new startup. You know, a lot of companies will brag about 100% growth or 300% growth or 500% growth. Yeah, well, you know, when the month you're comparing to, you sold one product, you had one customer, there's nowhere to go up from there. Yeah. But, you know, we already have hundreds of thousands of customers, and, you know, we're experiencing growth rates unheard of, 300% throughout 2012. We've smashed records every single month already in 2013. And, Doc, I don't need to tell you, the message is getting out there. We are a 17-year-old young little rebel company that is making a big mark in a big way.
Well, you got to love it. And, you know, nothing speaks more volumes than facts, right, and evidence. And this is what I love so much about Youngevity, because it's naturopathic medicine on steroids. And I remember talking to Dr. Wallach, when I first came in, and I just couldn't understand why Dr. Wallach chose to set his company up as a network marketing business, because he got so much crap from the naturopathic profession about it. I don't know if many people in the listening audience know this, but in the wonderful world of naturopathic medicine, Dr. Wallach, of all people, is looked down upon not because of his clinical experience, not because of the research that he did. You know, that would prop him up in the eyes of his colleagues, but there's a built-in bias in my medical industry, the naturopathic medical industry, against multi-level marketing network companies. Oh, we're doctors and we're bigger than that, and oh, you can't do that. You know, we're above all of that stuff. And people actually look down their nose at Dr. Wallach in my industry. It blows my mind when this happens. And I asked him, I said, Doc, why on earth would you set this company up as a network marketing company instead of just a normal vitamin company? You know, just have a normal vitamin company and sell at health food stores and sell to, you know, other naturopathic doctors and chiropractors and people like that. And he looked at me and he said, listen, he said, in private practice, if I have a good year, I can treat 200, maybe 300 people. That's it. That's how many hours there are in the day. And you know, a naturopathic first office visit, it's at least 45 minutes. It's not 5 minutes like the chiropractors do. It's not 2 minutes like the acupuncturists do. It's not 60 seconds like the MDs do. We take time with our patients. And I'm maxed out at 300 people a year, but with the longevity business, I can help an unlimited number of people a year to regain their health. And when he told me that, my head exploded. Dr. Wallach has taken a lot of flack professionally for the last 17 years because he had the unmitigated gall and the audacity to set his nutritional supplement company up with the genius of a network marketing model. And, you know, the more I think about that and think about what he had to go through in doing that, really, my hat's off to Dr. Wallach. He's always in front of he's always ahead of the curve, man. He's been ahead of the curve economically. He's been ahead of the curve with the medical research. He's been ahead of the curve with the application of his therapeutics. He is always out in front. And like you just said, Mike, a 17-year overnight success story, finally getting the traction that it deserves, finally getting the respect that it deserves, and what it's based upon. The only reason that all of this is happening, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, lest we not overlook the obvious, is because it works. Longevity's therapeutics produce more consistent, specific, and measurable, noticeable results than anything that I've ever seen, and I've seen just about everything there is in the world of holistic medicine. Wallach's therapeutics produce results where others do not. And so that's going to keep people coming back to the trough. And, you know, I spoke to Blake Graham, who's one of the biggest longevity people. And thank God for Blake Graham and Todd Smith, for goodness sake, because if it wasn't for the work that they've done for the last 17 years, I'm not sure that longevity would still be around. It was Blake and Todd's network marketing genius that really was the lifeblood of longevity for the last decade. And I asked Blake, the first year that I met him, I said, Blake, how much money did you make with longevity your very first year? And he looked over at me and said, my very first year of longevity? Well, let me think about that. He said, well, I have no idea because I'm still making money from what I did in my very first year at longevity, so I don't know that I could give you an accurate calculation. When he told me that, my head exploded. Again, my head explodes every month when I'm around longevity. I keep having eureka moments, and this is what is such a wonderful thing about this business. I got to tell you, Mike, that this is the beginning of something really, really big. And when you're going around the country now, give me a little taste of what it's been like in North Carolina and then in Atlanta with people being receptive to the business model. What's that been like for you?
Well, it is incredible. You know, network marketing, like Dr. Wallach, you know, he's going against the status quo, and anytime you go against the status quo, people are going to throw rocks at you. They're going to poke you with sticks. They're going to try to figure out how to derail you. And our story right now is so strong that we're not derailed. We're not even derailable. People understand that this is real because quite often people get a check within a week or 2 or 3, certainly within their first month of being a distributor for longevity. We have really fun things going on like the Healthy Body Challenge where people can get their products for free. Even our customers can get their products for free. As soon as you do what you say you're going to do, and Youngevity does that every single day, as soon as you do what you say you're going to do, in today's world, in today's political climate, in today's corporate climate, as soon as you do what you say you're going to do, people come around. They believe it's real. They've become so used to getting let down that all we have to do is perform, and they're lining up at the door, Doc. I'm telling you, we are on the cusp. I've always said that Dr. Wallach was 17 years ahead of his time. Well, thank God for that, because right now, Youngevity is 17 years ahead of everyone else.
And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, really, you know, numbers don't lie. 400% growth in 2012 in this kind of a crappy economy. What the heck's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on here. This ain't your grandfather's nutrition. This ain't a super juice company. This isn't a multi-level network marketing company that has crappy products and really they're only selling the compensation plan. This is not what this is. This is new-fashioned, science-based, clinically verified, results-oriented medical nutrition delivered to the public through the agency of a grassroots coalition of a network marketing business built on integrity. Youngevity never been late with a check in 17 years, built on integrity. Youngevity pays the distributors first and the company second. A fantastic economic model, a fantastic health recovery model. And who's your Youngevity prospect, ladies and gentlemen? Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into the mall. I want you to take a tennis ball. I just want you to randomly throw it up into the air and let it bounce. Whoever picks it up, that's your prospect. Because everybody in this country is sick and suffering, and everybody in this country needs a financial shot in the arm, and we are the solution on both fronts. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here with another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Today is a Thursday, the 16th day of May in 2013. Now, you know, we're talking with Mike Randolph here, the Vice President of Leadership Development at Youngevity. And, you know, Mike, years ago, what we would do in order to spread Dr. Wallach's message, Youngevity message, is we would lend people cassettes, we would lend people CDs, we would invite people to home parties, we would invite people to events, and all of that is well and good. However, the addition of the Success at Home magazine now brings a completely different level of enrollment to the table here. I mean, having this under your arm to be able to hand out to people, I mean, that's just an unbelievably effective enrollment tool. Tell me how people are using that.
You know, it's amazing. Sometimes all you have to do, Doc, is walk around with this. I'm not going to mention any names specifically, but Tuesday night while I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, I happened to be carrying a copy of this magazine, and there was, at this hotel, there was a different network marketing company was having a meeting there. And, you know, I'm a very forthright person. I wasn't going to go leech on them, try to convince them of anything, even talk about Youngevity, just walked right past them. This lady jumped up from their sign-up table and chased me down because she wanted to know about the Success from Home magazine. And I said, well, I don't really have time to get into it, but I will show you one picture. And I flipped to the middle of the magazine. Of course, there was a picture of me. That was the most easily recognizable thing for her, which completely blew her away. She's going, wait a second. My company is not in Success from Home magazine. Who are you? What's going on? I need to know what's going on at the other end of this hallway. It is such a great attention getter. It covers the need. It covers not only the need for our nutritional products, but it covers the need for additional income that people have more than ever right now. It covers corporate, covers the heart of the company, covers the leadership, covers the field leadership. It doesn't matter what a person's big enough reason why is. It doesn't matter ultimately what they're going to find most interesting about Youngevity. This magazine will stimulate their brain and it will stimulate their heart most people, Doc, as you know, they don't really know what they want. They just know they're not satisfied where they are right now in life. This magazine's a great starting point. It doesn't matter how many social networking pages you have, how many business cards you have, how many email addresses you have, how many websites you have. People today, they know that you can create those things in a matter of minutes. Somehow we've gotten back old school, having good old-fashioned printed materials, high-gloss, 4-color magazine with a DVD in the middle of it speaks more for your company than all of the other stuff put together. And it really makes an impact.
Well, you got to love it, man. I mean, and this is the beauty of longevity, because we're always marching forward. We're always doing new things. And as the company gets more recognition, as the company gets more traction, as the company gets more respect, more and more things like this are going to happen, which is then going to make it easier and easier for the people in the field to enroll people into the longevity way, because there will be a buzz about it. You know, years ago, 15 years ago, there was a big buzz because of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the audio cassette recording that Dr. Wallach recorded. And then that died off after a while because, you know, that's just the way that things go. Well, now it's coming back around again. But it's not the Dead Doctors Don't Lie message. It's the longevity message. It's the 90 for life message. It's change your life financially and change your health, both at the same time with longevity. Got to tell you, Mike, I can hear the longevity wave building. It is building all across the country. Every time I go out and lecture now, there's 20, 30, 40, 50 more people than there were the last time I was there. This is building. It is inevitable. Ladies and gentlemen, do not wait. Fortune favors the bold. Please visit right now, fireyourmdnow.com. or fireyourmdnow.ca. Click on the longevity button and join our merry band of men, women, and children making a big splash in the world. Mr. Randolph, I don't know how the time goes by so quickly, but it does. Always a pleasure to have you here, buddy. Thank you so much for your time, and now go out there and enroll somebody.
My honor and pleasure. See you next week, Doc.
Look forward to it. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. The Commander's coming up at the second hour.